feel like here in London, I'm in London now, my faith gets refreshed every single day. I face challenges, I face joys, highs and lows. Like even just this weekend, I faced a challenge, an emotional challenge in me. And I had to look myself in the face, in this mirror, and I had to face myself. Face my emotions, had to face my situation. Because you know sometimes something can be happening over a period of time and then suddenly it just hits you and you just feel emotional. That's how it was for me Saturday morning. And guess what? The whole day I was facing challenges. I went out. Oh my God, so much has happened. Okay, so basically, let's just put a mental note on Germany. That's where I've stopped the story. Basically, since I've come back to London, since I've got a new job and everything, I've decided, okay, I'm rooted here for now. Let's try and enjoy this city. Let's try and fall back in love with this city. Let's try and make it home again. I'm trying to explore this city that I feel like I didn't do when I was younger or when I was like living here before. I've never explored the city, and there's so much to do in the city of London. On the weekends, I try to get around and just like do something. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've been seeing that anytime I go to these places, I like to take photos, of course, capture the moment and share it with you on Instagram, just a little bit about the place, emotions or something that's happened to me, and I just share inspirational quotes, something like that. So yesterday, I was doing this. It's starting to be a standard routine. So yesterday I went out, 2 locations in mind. After the first location, something happened. It was a flop. It wasn't a flop. It was like 50% flop. That was the first location. I said, whatever, even though the first location is a flop, I'll go to the second location. Usually I only have 1 location in mind, but for yesterday I had 2 in mind because one of the places opens at 12. So I thought, okay, I'll go and do this and this and that. In the morning, by 12 o'clock, by just before 12, around 12, I'll leave and go to the second place. Went to the second place, closed. Then I decided to go to a third place. Go to the third place, you need to book in advance. Go to the fourth place, it's just raining, it's just busy, it's just a mess, it's just all over the place. It's just like everything was just flopping. But I feel like with faith, it's something that challenges you daily. You have to be open to growth every single day, not just once a week on a Sunday, not just monthly. You have to always just be open to growth and open to your faith being stretched. And so yesterday my faith was stretched because even though the first place and second place failed, I kept going. I went to another place, I went to another place. And I was like, I must make this day successful. And it was just like, then I heard like God telling me like, it's okay, go home. And I came home. And yeah, I feel like in Germany, back to Germany, I had to always be on guard and be prepared for anything. A lot happened. It reminded me of the Saturday because it was just one thing after the other, one thing after the other. And the final straw was on the day that I was about to hand in my notice. Something happened that day. Oh, it terrified me. But me being the good girl, I still wanted to give my notice and still wanted to give the company 30 days of knowing that I'm leaving. I could have literally quit then and there and said adios, but I didn't do that. I still gave notice. During my time in Berlin, just as I was thinking about leaving, I was kind of missing home. I was missing London. Actually, I was traveling to London a lot because I was trying to get my driver's license. At one point, I came home like 4 or 5 times that month because I really wanted to get it, you know? The driving license is another story. Yes, I'm a bit of a late bloomer in this sense. While I was living in Berlin, I really missed Iceland. I really missed England. I really missed the places that felt like home. And I always knew that at some point I would return to Iceland. Obviously, I'll always return to England because like my family's here, it's home. But I always knew that at some point I returned to Iceland, but I'm not sure when or for what reason. Because to me, where I was like for a purpose, and I felt like that was good purpose, but really it was me running away. It was me trying to find my way by myself when really I should have been more steadfast and more stable. You know, my mom actually told me to be stable. I'm like, how does a person like be stable? Stable is something you work on for a while. That is the whole idea of stability, you know? It's a long-term goal. So anyway, sorry mommy. As much as I wanted to hold on in Berlin, I just thought, what's the point? Also, they were not giving me a transfer to London. London is supposed to be the easiest base to transfer to, and they weren't doing it. And I was like, what is the point of this? There's no benefit. You don't get to travel for free. Never. You have to pay like 80 euros for a staff ticket. Yet a passenger ticket costs like 15. Only sometimes book staff tickets. Most of the time I just book the normal passenger tickets because it's way cheaper than a staff ticket. So yeah, I was just missing Iceland. So what I did, I just started looking for jobs everywhere. London, Iceland, those two places. I only wanted to go somewhere that felt like home. I was just fed up of living in this foreign land. So I just applied for like jobs in those two locations, and of course it was not very successful, but I was confident that I needed to leave Germany ASAP. So I wrote down here, moving to Germany was something that I didn't think about in depth before going, and therefore I regret it a little bit because I consider the experience to be something I would change if I could. So there are some things that if I could change, then I would change because they were just not nice things. Let's just put it this way, no black person would have liked it. If I were to weigh the good and the bad, I would say it was about 30% good and 70% bad. So if you are actually interested in like what happened to me in Germany, then just let me know and I will try to open up when I can, when possible, but only when I feel better about it. I don't think I'll ever feel better about it. I mean, don't get too worried about me. It was not like the most tragic thing in the world, but you know when you've just not experienced a lot of racism and then suddenly something happens to you and you just feel like your life is in danger. That was basically it. I was just not used to it because I moved to Iceland, a country where there's not like so many black people. Nobody said anything racist to me apart from that one time someone said something to me and my friend about being a monkey or a pig. It was from a distance. It was like, you know, somebody attacking you from a distance. This attack was actually up close, but I'm not going to talk about it now. I need to talk about what's happening. So I think I just explained the chunk of where I've been over the past year. Some of the people I worked with were awesome, some of them not so nice, and others just neutral. As soon as I published that last video about why I have no eyebrows, I moved to Germany. End of May, I left Germany. I came back to London, went to Iceland twice. First time was to kind of feel everything out, maybe try and find a job, see what's going on, just kind of like enjoy a few days there. Second time was for work purposes. In all honesty, like I actually do miss Iceland. I don't think about Germany at all. Like I just don't think about it. It's just not something, like it's just not something which I have amazing feelings about. When I think about Berlin, I just think about the S-Bahn and the U-Bahn and just think about the horrible times I had. I had some good times, but I just think, oh my God. I don't have so many great thoughts about Berlin. Sorry. I feel like I was always rushing and I was just like running, and then I was always undressing and dressing like to get to work. You have to go through security and they don't allow you to wear your clothes a certain way, and then they told me to remove my braids. Seriously? You told me to remove my dreadlocks actually. That's what they told me to remove. They told me to remove my dreadlocks, which I did not even have. Like, have you ever seen me with dreadlocks? I love dreadlocks. I absolutely adore them. If they're done nicely, I adore them. But did I even have dreadlocks? No, I had twists. They had a grooming manual, and in the grooming manual it said braids are not allowed, and so I put twists in thinking I'm being smart. But then they can't tell the difference between braids and twists, so they're like, oh, you need to remove your dreadlocks. After 5 weeks they finally told me this, and I was like, well, it's time for me to take them out. Anyway, I took them out. After coming back to London, after the summer had ended, I was thinking to myself, what do I do? Like literally, what do I do? I don't know. Do I stay or do I go? Do I stay or do I go? Do I stay or do I go? Do I go or do I stay? And that's when my mom told me to be stable. And I'm like, how does one just be stable? Like, how does that even happen in a moment? I decided I'm going. I am going back to Iceland. I started applying for jobs. I started putting the effort back into like making my way back to Iceland. I was gonna do it. I needed to do it. I needed to be in Iceland. This is September. I mean, obviously I was applying for jobs everywhere. And I had just had a phone interview with a company here in my town, my city, London. He gave me a hint that it was promising, that he would be inviting me for a face-to-face interview. So I already had in my mind, okay, there's something going on with this job, but it's not confirmed, it's not guaranteed. Like, I've had hope in the past and still it just gets broken just like that. So I'm just gonna keep my mind open. I'm just gonna feel everything out. Everything happened in a weekend, by the way. I was talking to someone actually who I knew in Iceland, and she told me to do to do like post in a group, and like she says she got like 10 job offers just to, like by doing that. And so I thought, okay, good idea, I'll do it. But I never wanted to do that before, you know. I just don't want to be like that pup just out there. But then I thought, well, hey, we never know. So that's what I did. Then many people were like sending me messages, and I thought, okay, things are going well. Obviously they're not the jobs that you really want, but it's the kind of jobs that you can do just like to get by. Yes, so then I had loads of job offers, opportunities, you know, things that would have been in place to make it easier for me to transition back to Iceland. I even booked the flight. Can you believe it? I found a flight with the Wizz membership, because I had a Wizz Air membership, and it gives you like discounts for flights. I found a flight for like £8 to Reykjavik, so I booked it for like the Tuesday, and it was the weekend that everything was happening, and I had a flight booked for Tuesday. And I had the job here in London hadn't gotten back to me, you know. I started looking for a job with accommodation. Then I thought, nah, it's not for me. So then I started to look for jobs just in Reykjavik. Usually in Iceland it's not an issue, like usually, to find accommodation. In Germany, completely different ballpark. I just thought to myself, nah, I think I'll just find a job in Reykjavik and just take care of myself. I had an interview scheduled for the day after I would arrive in Reykjavik. Then I started looking for apartments, found something. It was confirmed. I was meant to sign the contract next day, on the Sunday. So Saturday, my mind was going like all over the place, bouncing off the walls, you know? Then I just decided, this is nuts. Like, why am I so much in two minds? Then I decided to pray, because I just wanted peace. I wanted God to give me a sign. I was praying. Then something told me, the Holy Spirit told me, make a spreadsheet. So I did a spreadsheet and I did all my calculations, and then it was obvious. It makes more sense for me to stay in England, even if it's for a season, however long that season lasts. Like, it just makes sense. I can still visit Iceland, I can still learn Icelandic, I can still be connected in some way, but it just makes sense for me to stay. And so it was finished. I cancelled the apartment in Iceland. I messaged back about the job interview. I messaged everybody who was waiting for an answer. I just told them I'm not coming. 10 minutes later, I get an email from the job here in London, and they tell me, we'd like to invite you for an interview on such and such a day, and I think on Thursday or Friday. I was like, okay, this is good. So I'm at peace now, but I'm sad that I'm not going to Iceland, but I'm at peace. The week goes by. I go to the interview, goes really well. I go to meet my sister for lunch, and a friend. I was telling my sister, yeah, I feel like it really went well. And she was like, nah, I think you got this job. Like, I think you got it. And I did get it, which is really great. Yeah, I am happy that I've stayed in London. It does feel more of God's plan rather than mine, but I'm okay with that. As long as God is leading me and guiding me, I feel good about it. You never know what can happen in the future. You absolutely never know. So right now I'm loving the season. If you don't know, I'm exploring the whole of the UK, starting with London. Just want to get to know the city again. Well, not again, like for the first time, because I don't know it that well. Like, people can mention like such and such a place. I'm like, I don't know, I've never been. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just exploring London. I've been doing gardens, different things. Just go and check it out on Instagram. If you're not following me there, just follow me there. If you love nature, if you want to discover more about the UK, then please do go and follow me there. And I'm just going to try and have fun with it, to be honest. So I'm back in the UK. Many people ask me, did you leave Iceland? Yeah, I did leave Iceland. I actually left 1 year ago when I moved to Berlin. I said, adios, Iceland. Goodbye. I've loved you, but now I'm leaving you. But Iceland has a left, yeah. Iceland has a special place. Tongue twister. Even worse than saying kvaðseru. Okay, let me not even butcher that. But thank you so much for sticking with me. Videos are gonna come back, more to come, about life as a flight attendant, traveling, all that stuff, all that good stuff. And hair. Let me know if you're still interested in hair and makeup, because I am considering something like maybe putting it on a different channel. Would that be a thing? Because I feel like I really want this channel to be all about traveling and culture and lifestyle. Would it make sense for me to put hair stuff still here? Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been like a good catch up for you. I'm sorry for abandoning you and leaving you with the video about why I don't have any eyebrows. Yeah, that's it. Love ya.